Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I wanted to talk about things that avoidants say verbally to show that you are the one for them. It's a reflection of their attachment towards you, is the best way to put it. And avoidants tend to avoid attachment. And so that's why what they say verbally can really signify their attachment, even if it's not always positive. And I'm going to explain that a little bit. Actually, the first point is usually in the form of frustration or during a disagreement. But then why then, if it's so negative, does it signify that you're the one? The aspect is based on the fact that their frustration is coming from their attachment towards you. So the phrase is that not enough for you? So obviously, this is it signifies that they are frustrated that they can't meet your needs. But the only reason why it frustrates them is because they want to meet your needs, even if they don't directly say that, or even if they're not fully aware of it. And so is that not enough for you? It doesn't mean that you can't compromise or they can't compromise, not necessarily, but it does just show and reflect that they care. The next one is a little bit more positive. Now, something like, did you enjoy yourself, or did you like that? This can even be in terms of like intimacy in the bedroom, right? They may ask you if you like that. It could be after a date that you guys have had. They can say something along the lines of maybe something they did for you. Maybe they cooked you something. Did you like that? Do you like it? And it's because they're trying to make you happy, and they're trying to really keep in the back of their mind something that they can continue to do to make you happy. And this is really important. A lot of people do this regardless of attachment style. They want their significant other happy. I'm in a relationship and I've been with him for a long time, and still to this day, I cook for him a lot. I cook for both of us. He's not the best cook, but he's good at other things, so it's not an offense, just being honest. And anytime I cook him something or bake him something, even still, it's the same recipe. Sometimes I'll ask every now and again, is that okay, or did you like it? And it's not that I'm trying to pressure him or that I feel that what I'm cooking is not good enough. It's because every now and again I want to know, is there something that I can do to make it a little easier or a little better for him, especially if I switch up the recipe. He's not very picky, but I still am going to ask every now and again. And I think it helps because it allows him to give me feedback. Just the other day I made him a pie, and the pie crust was a little thick because I'll be honest, I was not in the mood to like just continuously roll it. I make pie crust a lot, so it's not that. So sometimes I'm making it and I do it, I don't even use a food processor to like cut up the butter. I just cut it with a knife and like break it up with my hands, whatever it is. And sometimes it's like that process, because I'm so used to it, sometimes it's not the same thickness that I always is. So the one time I made it, the pie crust was a little bit thick and I was a little short on it was a peach pie that I made. And I asked him, did you like that? And he mentioned it's the same recipe I always use, but the ratio is a little different. He mentioned like, yeah, I do like it, but I think this time the pie crust was a little bit thick. And he said, I don't mind, but I just wanted to let you know I prefer like more of a fruit heavy ratio. And that was fine. That helped me. And I think a lot of avoidants feel comfortable knowing that they can make you happy. The next one is, what can I do so that you don't think that way about me? Many avoidants, honestly, they don't care about how other people think about them. And so this part is actually their perspective, how you think, because maybe they feel hurt by your perspective. So let's just say they are texting their colleague and it's after work. And maybe it's because their colleague said, you send me this email. And so they're sending this email later in the day. And maybe it's like 7 p.m. and you're kind of like, who are you texting? And you feel suspicious. And you mention that it's bothering you for whatever your reasons are, and you're uncomfortable with who they're texting at 7 p.m. and they say, no, it's a work colleague, I promise, and they show it to you, they're very uncomfortable. A lot of avoidants don't like being accused of something, not that you were doing it on purpose, and so a lot of times they may follow up and say, what can I do so you don't think that way about me? I'm not that kind of person. Do you need to see it? What can I do? Because I'm not doing anything. It's just a work colleague. And so this is why that statement is really important. They're trying to show you that they care about you. The next one is, what can I say to make you understand I hear you? This is common, any version of it. Let's say, for example, you're telling them how you have a stomach ache and it's really painful, whatever it is, and it's just going to pass, but you're just frustrated. And they might say, that makes sense. Hopefully you'll feel better tomorrow. And like, that's all they say. And they don't really know what else to say. So often, if you communicate with them that you feel frustrated that they're not communicating and they're not showing care, they might become frustrated and say, what can I do to make you understand that I hear you, that I understand what you're saying? I just don't know what to say. What can I say? And usually it's along those lines. A lot of avoidants don't know how to tell you they care. And it can be really frustrating to be put in a corner where somebody's upset by what you're saying. They might feel pressured, which makes it even harder. And so that's why they say that, but it does come from attachment. The next one is, I don't like when you do that. It frustrates me. This one's really fundamental for relationships in general. When somebody communicates, I don't like something that you're doing, it's because they value the relationship enough to point something out. And particularly for avoidance, this is pretty important because avoidance, a lot of times they do not bother with something that doesn't make sense to them or someone that doesn't make sense. And a lot of avoidants are like this. Fearful avoidants are interesting because actually, I would say this might be even more fundamental to them because some fearful avoidants don't say how they feel even after years, not because they're lying, but because sometimes they're just afraid to be abandoned, actually. And so they won't tell you what's bothering them. Some of you guys are fearful avoidants, so you know what I'm talking about. Like, you think that maybe your feelings don't matter as much. And so it's not that you're trying to lie, but when you do start saying that you don't like something, it's a sign, and you guys can, fill me in, any fearful avoidance. It's a sign that you feel pretty safe in the relationship and that you trust this person to take your feedback and not leave you. And so typically with fearful avoidance, that's pretty common. For dismissive avoidance, it's that they trust you enough that it's worthwhile to them to even communicate. Dismissive avoidance, very often, they don't really care, not all of them, but they don't really care how other people think of them or how people treat them necessarily because they will just cut you off. And so the fact that they're communicating that they don't like something instead of cutting you off often means that they expect that you'll change so that the relationship is more comfortable for both of you guys. The next one is, I'm not mad, just work on it going forward. Very common with, if anyone's having an argument, sometimes you're going to ask, are you mad? Right? And maybe you did something, you crashed out, and I don't know, they probably were a little bit upset, but now they're no longer upset and they're just saying work on it. Usually when they're telling you this, it means that they want to go, move on with the situation. But when they say just work on it, they're saying, I expect that this won't be an issue moving forward, and I'm not mad because I trust you. The next one is, did you make it home okay? Some avoidants are not comfortable doing this, and then some are, so it depends. But a lot of them, if they want to make sure that you're home okay, they're trying to extend, I care about you and I want to show you I'm there for you. The next one is, are you okay about it because I am? This one is pretty fundamental. It's specific, but it's fundamental. Let's say, for example, you guys had an argument and it was a big one. And you guys kind of worked it out. Maybe it's not the best conclusion, but it's good enough. They want to move on, but they ask you if you want to move on as well. Are you okay about it because I am? A lot of times this is also a type of version where they're trying to say, if you're not okay, we can talk about it, which is very important because a lot of avoidance, sometimes they want to pretend like arguments didn't happen. But a lot of times if they're changing and they're opening up and they're committing, they're okay with having certain difficult conversations to make you feel better. And the last one is, did I upset you or are you upset at me? Now, for fearful avoidance, this is not always the case because I'll be honest, fearful avoidance kind of do this with everybody. Not all of them, but some of you guys do this. They can ask this to a stranger, so it's not as fundamental. But if a dismissive avoidant asks this is a sign that they care about you. So let's go ahead and summarize and we'll wrap it up. The first one is that not enough for you? The second one is, did you enjoy yourself / did you like that? The third one is, what can I do so that you don't think that way about me? The fourth one is, what can I say to make you understand I hear you? The fifth one is, I don't like when you do that. It frustrates me. The sixth one is, I'm not mad, just work on it going forward. The seventh one is, did you make it home okay? The eighth one is, are you okay about it because I am? And the last one is, did I upset you? Or are you upset at me? I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.